do shit to just piss them off. Say you never heard me, it's yo lost. They biting on my freestyles. They tell me make my money frontin' on that weed style. I tell them I be too.
So today I'm here to talk to you. It's like a little true story video about my geezer of a granddad. So you all know my granddad. And all his pride and glory. I think I wanted to do this video to explain how my granddad's affected my life, how I see him as a person, and what, well, I just wanted to do like a true story video on this because of how close I am with my granddad, how much I think of him, and just some of the laughs that we've had together, and I thought it'd make like a nice little video for you. So my granddad is the most caring, generous person I've ever met. He's stuck by my side through everything, and when I think out of everyone that I could ever lose in my life, my granddad could be the worst. My grandma and granddad, because I'm as close to my grandma as I am my granddad, but obviously grandson, grandfather, granddaughter, grandmother, if you get what I mean. Not all the time, but you get what I mean. I'm really close to both of them, but if I think my granddad passed on, it would probably affect me most out of anyone. And I've always been, so they have daddy's lads, mummy's lads, and then there's like grandparents lads, and I've always been grandparent lad. I've never been like a mummy or daddy's lad. I've never really got on with my parents, and yeah, it is mainly my granddad, my grandma and granddad that I get on with really well. So where I don't know where to start with my granddad, there's so many things I could tell you about him, like him at school, the things he used to get up to at school, all the stories he's told me about when they were at school. So one of them, he used to really like doing woodwork, which is what he ended up doing as his job in school. And his woodwork teacher, because he used to go to a street around Bentley, his woodwork teacher used to drive in through one side of the toilets and out of the other on a motorbike, because he used to be able to get in and out of them when they were younger. And obviously back then it was nowhere near as strict as it is now, no safety regulations or anything like that. And then the kid called Ego Iam, or whatever his name was, a lad in his class who come to school with iron marks on him. So much good stuff that he did at school. I wish my school was like that. He played on the same pitch as Kevin Keegan, true story. He was a very, very good goalkeeper, like this geezer. But nah, he was a very, very good goalkeeper, and he stopped because of his eyesight, and if he didn't stop, I reckon he'd have got quite big. But technically he played against Kevin Keegan in like a Sunday League match kind of thing, and then obviously Kevin Keegan got where he is now, and he got massive, and most successful Liverpool defenders in history. So I argue and bitch with my granddad all the time. It's like I've got several nicknames for him. The main one that we use is Nelson, because he reminds us of Nelson Mandela in the way that he looks. So I don't honestly know why I think they look anything alike, but in my eyes they do. So fuck off and deal with it. Oh, I am really, really close with my granddad and grandma. He's helped me a hell of a lot. He's in football probably one of the only people that actually believed in me. It's like when he's with my dad, when he's around my dad, because my dad isn't the most, he does, but he's not the most believing person in success. So when he's around my dad, he'll agree with my dad, and he'll be like, yeah, you know, you do need a backup. But then when he's not around my dad, and he'll be like, Jack, honestly, if you think you can do it, you go for it. Because he'd be like, if you think you're good enough, you don't need no backup. He said, you can do it. He's always encouraged me. Camera's just got extremely poor because my UV light has just died. Brilliant. Sorry that this lighting is as poor as it is, but it's the best I'm going to be able to do because the lights just died. He used to take me out on the field at 76 years of age and kick footballs at me. He used to run about all over the place booting them at me to get me as good as I could. He'd buy me equipment to do training with. He'd always come to my matches. And it's just the way he is. Got a very special friendship, like family, like bond. It's like if we go out for something to eat, he'll always be like, he always asks me if I want to sit next to him, and majority of the time I'll always say yeah. And it's like most grandparents won't ask you, they'll just let you. But I always end up, he always asks me because that's what he's like. I share everything with him. I know everything about him. I know him as good as my grandma knows him. He knows me better than anyone. And he knows me like back of his hand. It's just how close we've become over years, and how reliant we've got on each other, how much we trust each other. The thing about my granddad is he'll when there's people like going like saying things about me, he'll tell them to shut up, he'll tell them to stop saying stuff about me, but at the same time he'll sort of agree with them because he'll agree with things people say because he doesn't want them to get offended, but then he'll tell me what's been said, because everything that's ever said about me, between say if one of my aunts or uncles were dissing me for whatever reason, if one of my cousins was, if my father was, if my mum was, anything like that, even though I don't speak to my mum. If anything like that happened, it always comes back to me, and that's what people in that side of the family don't seem to realise. No secrets, tell each other everything we always have done. That's the whole fucking point, really. As you can tell, I am really close to him. We've got a really special bond, and I've always considered him my dad, which I have done, and he knows this because I have always considered him as my dad, because I know he's not, but it's like I'm closer to him than I am anyone, and I've never really had. He's the closest thing, like, so with a dad you're supposed to have really, really good relationship as a lad, you're supposed to have best relationship going, but I don't really have that. No offence or anything, Dad, but I don't really have that with my dad, but I do have that with my granddad. We share a lot of things in common. He likes the same sport as me, so on and so forth. We just have a hell of a lot more in common than I do with other people. So yeah, he knows that I consider my grandma my mum. I always have done. We're just that close. So I go to see him more or less every single day, and they said to me a couple of weeks ago, so we'll argue. They argue all the time, and me and my granddad will argue. We'll argue, but it won't be anything serious. We'll just be like messing about or something. And then my grandma will agree with me because she likes to see my granddad get wound up, because it's funny and things like that. So some of the arguments we might have: when he wants to go for a piss, when we want to go for a piss, we have to put a bucket of water down the toilet after. We're not allowed to flush it. He's obsessed with saving money on water. Around in house in scarves and things like that because he can't be asked to go upstairs to turn heating on. The next thing he'll be doing is making his pissing buckets to save that for water. Definitely the most believing person in me, and he's a very, very respectable man. He's a very respected man. By far the best man I've ever met, in terms of the way he is, who he is. It's like when people slag him off like people that he doesn't get on with or things like that, I always stick up for him. I will always stick up for him, even if I knew what they were saying was right. It's like I wouldn't with other people. Say if someone was dissing someone else in my family and they'd done something wrong, I wouldn't stick up for him. But with my granddad, I would. I don't know why I'm like that, but that's just how I am. Same with my grandma. I defend them to end the earth. But the reason why I've done this video is because people have asked me why I've never done a video with any other grandparents apart from my grandma and granddad, or why I've never done a video with my dad or anyone like that, and I just wanted to address that I'm not I'm not that close to anyone really apart from them two. We just have that bond. It's like son, father, mother in a way, just the way we get on, because it's like my grandma says, no matter what they ever said to me, or no matter what they ever said to me, I would always come back. Because she said to me today, she said, I know you always like, you come a lot on that, and we'll say to you, oh, have a day off tomorrow, but she says, you know we're joking when we say that, don't you? And I said, yeah. Grandma know how much I care about them, they're fully well aware of that, and how much I respect them, because it's like, they hate me swearing around them. It's like, they don't mind if I say shit or piss or something like that, but they hate, like if you're really going at it, they'll have a go at you. Knowing me a little bit about my grandma and granddad is, say if my dad's there, or my little brother's there, or auntie or uncle, and they're like, Jack, you need to change your attitude. They're like my grandma, not my grandma, whoever's there, like my uncle, auntie, or my dad, or something like that, they'll be like, well, yeah, you do, but then when they go, they'll tell me that, well, I hope to be the truth, they'll tell me the truth, they'll be like, no, you've not got an attitude problem, no, you haven't, you just ignore them, because it's like, they know me, and they know what I'm like better than anyone. No one knows me as good as they do, and they will be like, they'll be like, just ignore him, because they'll be like, he's not perfect himself, or something like that, which no one's perfect yourself. None of yous. None of you lot, none of them lot, no one is. I'm not. I wanted to do this video to just address the fact of how I'm not very close with any other people apart from them two. I am, but not that close as I am with those two. If you enjoyed this video talking about this geezer, grandma as well, but I've not got a picture of my grandma, unless I dig through all my Snapchat memories, I can't be arsed. So thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, drop me a comment down below what you want to see next, and I will see you in tomorrow's upload. Peace.
I'ma do shit that just piss them off. Say you never heard me, it's yo lost. They biting on my freestyles. They tell me make my money frontin' on